Hello friends, my name is Shivam from Devops Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Now, kubectl get deployment. If you do kubectl describe the deployment. So if you do kubectl describe deployment, you can see that it will show you the name of the deployment, in which namespace it is running, what is the label you have it, and what is the selector you have defined. How many replicas are running? 3 desired, 3 update, 3 total, 3 available. What is the rolling update strategy? Like here I have by default it take 25%, you can change it. Then which version of your Nginx image it has downloaded, which port number it is running, okay, and it is running. It will show you that 38 minutes ago it has been updated. Okay, now if you do kubectl get pod, kubectl describe pod, take any of this pod. If you do kubectl describe pod, okay, the name of the pod, where it is running, in which worker node it is running, it will also show you. Okay, what is the internal IP of this pod, the name, which image it is using, okay, plus log related to your pod, like how it has assigned in default Nginx deployment, then it has download the image, successfully create the container, started the container. So everything you will get it from here. Do describe deployment and do describe pod, see what you can see it.
Gopal, I have a query, like how the traffic will be balanced across these pods or replicas if we have multiple.
I didn't create the service.
Okay.
I'll come on that service option. Currently, all these pod are running. Using service, we will divert. I'll come on that. Understand the use of describe command. What you are getting through describe.
Here we have one deployment file, like deployment. So we're getting one details, right? Like, or we can specify that describe deploy, then deployment name, then it will give only that deployment. Okay,
Currently
same.
we have one deployment, so it is showing if you have 100 deployment.
Yeah.
So kubectl describe deploy and name of the deployment you need.
Name. Okay. And I have a small doubt. Till yesterday, when learning Docker, right, we are creating individual containers. Now we are creating individual pods, right? But
Inside pod, we can have multiple containers.
Yeah, like how do you launch those containers inside that pod?
You're mentioning that in YAML file, right?
In specification, I have put container, name of the container, which image need to be used. Okay.
Yeah.
This is something called as Python list. You can provide another name. I call this DB. And then image colon MySQL.
How we can write this YAML file like you? Not like you, at least without searching somewhere. Is there any course for this to write YAML code? YAML script.
Just in your machine, you need to have something called as in your machine, you should have something called as Visual Code Editor. Download Visual Studio Code. Okay.
That I have.
Then what you can do is in Visual Code Editor, you have something called setting. Not setting, turn on setting thing, extension. AUB. Like you need to go to file, create a file as YAML file, okay, and start writing it. Yeah. Or you can go to google.com. There is a site called as Kubernetesfundamental.io. You'll get everything from here. You look for Kubernetes documentation. Okay. Go one by one, you will get that YAML file configuration. Do not follow any other documentation. I also learned it from here only. You always have the updated.
Okay.
They have this tutorial also. Here it will show you that how you can use configuration, statelets, application, stateful application.
Oh. What's that Minikube?
Using Minikube, or you can use same thing. It goes to Kubernetes cluster also. Minikube, if you have your personal laptop and you want to install it, okay, you can install it. You just need to install a Oracle VirtualBox. Install, if you don't want to go through the pain of like installing multiple machines, you just need to install Oracle VirtualBox. Then on your Windows machine, okay, go to PowerShell. In PowerShell, just install Choco Package Manager. Chocolatey Package Manager, you need to install it. Then you need to give a command ch or Choco Minikube, Choco install Minikube. We'll install it. Then type minikube start. It's like in full-fledged Kubernetes cluster. Install minikube. We'll install minikube. Install minikube. Your system should be run on elevated command. Run it when you run the PowerShell. You need to run the right click on it and run as administrator. Okay.
Gopal, some of this thing is like, restricted even with the how the machine
This
actually
thing you cannot
configuration
do
is.
it on your company laptop.
Yeah, okay. So we have a C2C machine, the cloud machines. Like, we can spawn it like, Linux or Windows, and start doing PowerShell, and that, you can do yourself as an administrator. It doesn't have
Then
so
you
much
can do it.
restriction.
Yeah. And if you can launch a Windows 2016 server in cloud, in Azure or anywhere, you can do it. Azure, you can do it. Okay. But
Okay.
in Azure, you need to means this. In Azure, you need to take T2 V3 machines only. Okay. They have nested virtualization.
Oh,
V2. Nested virtualization is not available with all the. You have to use D2 V3.
need to be 3 years old. Okay. All right. Let me check.
Do you have this authorization? Yeah. I think you can do it. Do people use this Azure only, na? Like you need to use D2S V3 machines, okay? All version 3 machine, D2S or D4S V3. This two machine has nested virtualization, okay? You can install Oracle VirtualBox or you can enable Hyper-V if you want to practice. These are the machine where you can practice it, okay? In Azure if you want to deploy it. Okay, let's go further. So if I look into kubectl, you can directly edit the deployment from here also. Edit deploy nginx icon deployment. You can deploy it from here also. Like kubectl edit deployment will show you. You can change the replica from 3 to 4. You can change the image version also from here. You can give a command kubectl edit deployment. That way also you can do it, or directly from outside also. Like I want to change the image from 1.14 version to 1.16 version. I will give a command kubectl set image deployment / the name of the deployment nginx equal to nginx colon 1.16.1 to a record. So it shows that the image has been updated. And if you want to verify it, you can give a command kubectl rollout status. You give a command rollout status, so it will show you that the rollout has been successfully done. Okay. Now, if you do kubectl get rs, you can see that I have make it 4. That is the reason. The previous Nginx deployment is there. Okay, it has not gone, but the status is 00 because they have changed it. Now, if you do kubectl get pod, you can see that there are now your deployment is running with new replica sets. And if you do kubectl describe deployment, you can see that the deployment controller has it automatically changed the all the previous pods.
I have question, Gopal. When we went to the describe command, right? It gives you the description of all the in the replica. That is a namespace, which is a default. How can we dynamic? I mean, so can we have a command that we can change, or you have to go to the YAML file again and add the namespace? Namespace default, right? We have to give some name.
Yeah.
Some name.
Like kubectl apply -f deployment -- namespace equal to tab. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Good. Yeah. The more you look into the output, more understanding you will get. The describe command gives you more understanding that what is there previously and what is new you have updated it. Done till here? Once done, tell me. I will give you about rolling updates. Not rolling update, rollback.
Hmm.
Is everyone done?
Yes, Gopal.
Okay. So I give a command kubectl set image deployment dot version 1 dot apps and the name of the deployment. You can do it with means you can make changes on deployment.yaml file and kubectl apply that way also do it, or you can do it like from outside also. Nginx equal to nginx colon 1.161. In place of 1.16.1, we put 161, which is wrong, and record equal to true. It has been updated. And if I do kubectl rollout status, it is rollout to finish 2 out of 4. You will have 1 out of 3, something like that. Try this. It will be stuck up like this because the image version is wrong. And if you do kubectl get rs, you can see that there is new rollout which is getting created, but desired to current to ready 0. And if you give a command kubectl get pod, previous 3 is running, the next 2 is showing error. And if you do kubectl get describe pod, what is the reason why it is showing error? It cannot pull that image because that type of image it don't have it. And if you do kubectl describe deployment, here also 4 desired, 2 updated, 5 total, 3 available, 2 unavailable, means it cannot update your system. And if you do kubectl rollout history, kubectl rollout HASTORY, you can see that rollout history show there are 2 version 1.16.1, 1.61. Now what happened is that I have some issue with this latest rollout. What I need to do is just need to, in place of history, if you put undo, it will go to the previous version. Roll back, you can see it is showing. Now if you do kubectl get deployment, you can see that it is showing 4 or 4, all are available. This way you can do, you can go from previous version to the new version using rollout. That is one way to go to the previous version. Or you, if I put kubectl rollout history, and I can give a command kubectl rollout in place of history. If you have more version, like around 4 to 5 version are there, undo hyphen revision equal to the name of the revision. It's 1/3 number. Hyphen 2 revision. It should be TO hyphen revision. You can go back to the previous revision like this. On a revision, particular revision number, if you want to go, you can go like this.
So it
This
is
way
set
you can,
to 1.161, right?
yeah. Means I made a mistake on putting my image. So in that type of scenario, we can go back and put anything.
To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan and grow your skills immensely.
So Gopal, this rollout undo with which will be mentioned earlier that to probably go to automatically the previous version, whatever it is before 1.16, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you have around 4 to 5 changes I have done and I want to go to some particular release, you need to use that last command I have given, kubectl rollout undo deployment nginx hyphen deployment to revision number.
Number 3, okay, individual, okay, got it. How we see when we roll back, right? How would we see the difference that, it rolled back from 1.16? Is that command that we can kubectl to see that,
kubectl describe
like, number 3
describe
is only changed to
deployment.
1.3.
If you do kubectl describe deployment, it shows.
Ah, okay.
Describe command you should use regularly. It gives you more information about the deployment.
What's going on? Okay.
Done till here? The rollout, rollback. All of you, have you done it? Doing it good. Once finished, just tell me.
Can you put the last command of describe? I just did a describe pod, but it just gives me a lot of information.
kubectl describe deploy.
Describe deploy. Okay.
Gopal?
Yeah, I'm there. Tell me. Yeah, what up?
Nothing actually, it's been silent. So are we going
No,
for
no,
break
no.
or something?
I thought you people are doing it, so that.
So we
Okay,
will
okay.
have in US, the election day today. So Biden is winning electoral vote by 223. So while you're training, everybody, like all my family is watching.
Nobody's sleeping. Good.
It's an excited day today.
Election we enjoy in India.
Even Chola, you're not like enjoying them that sleep. Actually, you're also not sleeping. You're not supposed to sleep them also.
Say it again.
Actually, the time there it's been actually midnight, right?
Yeah. So for this training, I just sleep in the daytime.
Or even your family also doing the same thing because of you.
No, my family today they are awake because of that election day. Today is the count, right? So it's so everybody is watching that TV till now. It's 12:30.
Election is very good in India.
Well, when I was growing up in college, you know what, right? What Congress did to us. And so I don't believe it. They go to the college students like us, right? Give some pork, whatever it is, right? And then get the voted swing to the Congress. That's what. But yeah, nowadays it is different.
So
Election
there is any
takes.
electronic voting or they should go to the voting booth or something. So because of
So
I'm
in
around.
Ballot
US,
box.
sorry, talking in US about in US,
Yeah, it is ballot box.
it
No?
yeah, it is. We have to go to the nearby area that is designated just like India, right? And you go to that place, usually the church, over here. And then you just go and there is a ballot booth and you go in a line the same way everywhere. And you just do that. But with the COVID, what we did is you can do the mailing. So the mail came in with the ballot, we just put everything and then just send it back in the mail. So now they are counting the mail votes now. The electoral votes is done. Now they are just counting the mail votes, like the people like me, like send it to the mail, right? So they will be counting.
But in US, the voting pattern is totally different. They won using something called as popular vote, which I never understood.
Yeah, that's the electoral. It's a concept between the Republican and Democratic. So some of the states are like, hard-coded Republican conservatives. They, whatever you do, they don't swing their mind, you know.
So, Gopal, is there a possibility of a quick recap of what we done today? Like, I missed it actually. If you have
What
time.
we have done is we have learned about our deployment API. When we talk about deployment API, okay, yesterday what we have done is we have created pods. Okay. But to make that pod highly available, I need another API called as replica. So I need to write down an replica set, then only it will be created. But that is before Kubernetes 1.14 version. That is the scenario. But nowadays, what happens is that after 1.14 version, they come up with something called as a deployment API. In the deployment API, we have combined the pod API and replica set together. So using that, what you can do is you can do rollout, you can create replica set of your containers. You can define the new state of your pod. If you want to go back to the previous release, version 1 to version 2 or version 2 to version 1, you can go. You can do scaling also. You can pause the deployment. You can see the status of the deployment. And if you want to remove the older deployment, you can do it.
Okay.
This is what we are doing it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And I have recorded the session from morning. Just try to look out. We share the recording.
Okay. Okay. Sure. You will be sending it as email or?
You have to talk to your L&D team.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
The next thing we are going to learn about scaling a deployment. When we talk about scaling, means you can increase the number of pods. That is one type of scaling. The other type of scaling we have is as per the requirement. It will scale out and scale in. This you can increase the number of pods. Okay, this is called as vertical scaling. This is also called as auto scaling, or you can say that how to do horizontal scaling, horizontal pod scaling. To do the same, like if you want to do vertical scaling, you just need to kubectl get deployment, then give a command kubectl. Mine will not scale because it has pod. Kubectl edit deployment. Mine is running on every 1.6. Six, one, one. Show me 4x4 ready. Found it. Okay. To do vertical scaling, just need to give a command kubectl scale deployment dot v1 dot apps slash nginx hyphen deployment hyphen hyphen replicas equal to 10. Now the replica will change from 4 by 4 to 10 by 10. This way, just a simple command hyphen hyphen replica 10. This will increase the replica count to 10. If you want to do auto scaling, just need to give auto scale the name of the deployment. I want all the time minimum 10 replica should run. Maximum it goes to 50. But whenever my CPU percent is equal to 50%. So what it will do is it will automatically increase the replica to means minimum all the time 10 it is running. Whenever your CPU percent goes to whenever your CPU percentage goes to 80%, it is going to increase the replica count to 10. When we talk about CPU percentage, it is your local machine CPU percentage or the CPU percentage used by your pod.
It is for the pod or the container, right?
Yes.
Pod, right?
So it will be CPU percentage for your existing pods.
Gopal, pod is nothing but the collection of containers like of similar pattern or similar this one, right?
Yes. It is like you have an application which have front end, back end, and some other containers are there. You put it inside a pod, multi-container application. You can use it for single container application also.
Okay. I asked this question because I just want to understand: is there any limitation of pods that we can create in the Kubernetes?
Rack space, they have tested it, okay, with around 250 core processor and 1 terabyte of RAM, and they found that on top of one single pod they can run 5,000 containers.
Gopal?
Yeah,
Gopal, Johnny here.
Yeah.
Is it something similar to the network which we create in a Docker? The pods are something similar?
Pod are
We
like
create a
an
network and
encapsulator. No. Pod are like an encapsulator.
Okay.
This is my master machine. These are my container. These are my worker node. This is my W1. This is my W2. They are being connected using connected with each other using CNI plugin. When we know that in Kubernetes, the communication strictly happens to API. So if you want to deploy a container on Kubernetes, you need to use the if you want to deploy a container on Kubernetes, you need to use the something called as use the pod API. Okay. Using pod API only, I can deploy my container. Using pod API only, I can deploy my container. Okay. So that is one reason why pod API can deploy it. Also, pod ensures that, like, this is my pod definition I have provided. Inside the pod definition, I have multi-containers. Pod ensures that all these 3 containers should run on top of one single machine, so that it will be like an local area connection. They are talking to each other. Okay, and otherwise what will happen is that if your front end is running on top of this machine, back end is running, the communication will be slow. Clear what is pod now?
Yes, yes.
Is it clear all of you what is deployment, how to do auto scaling on deployment?
The auto scale basically does the replicas. Like right now, we just did the exercise of 3, but it just now increases to 10.
10.
Okay.
But it can go up to 15 also. Whenever CPU percentage goes, like on this 10 pod, if the CPU percentage goes more than 80%, it will add another 5 pods. Clear?
Yeah.
Any doubt till here? Any one of you have it?
Yeah, I have one. So do we have Kubernetes available in AWS offering?
Yeah. Like Azure Kubernetes service in AWS, they have Elastic Kubernetes service. Just give a name to the cluster. Which Kubernetes version do you have it? currently they are supporting maximum 1.18, but the latest release from Kubernetes is 1.19. Okay.
Kubernetes version is 1.19, is it?
The latest version is 1.19. If you go to any service provider, maximum 1.18 they are giving, not the latest version. For the latest version, you have to deploy it manually. Okay.
Please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.